I feel great. We did have some mail today, so I wanted to open this up. I didn't want to get into the magic kit with my voice sounding like this because halfway through getting that, my voice would probably be gone at that point. So just a quick little fun time here. We're gonna open this up and just kind of talk very lightly. If anybody shows up, we're just gonna chat about some coins because I did have a question from K Studios that I wanted to answer. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get this open. So this is one of a few things that I know of that I have in the mail. Um, I have something coming from the Magic guys, and then I have something coming from Make Playing Cards. So let's take a look here. And kapow. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is hopefully this is what I think it is, because this seems a lot smaller than what it was advertised. So let's take a look here. I'm guessing this is the invoice that is taped around this thing. Yes, okay. So this is Aeon from Benjamin Me. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing names. So I did order the 5 set of rings. It's from Illusionist. So it was on sale when I picked it up. If you watch Magic Orthodoxy, he has talked about it. So I did end up getting this. There are 5 different size rings in it for $20, plus you get 11 different tricks once you go on and watch the tutorial. So this should pretty much set you up for all your ring stuff. So basically what I want to talk about today is we've got the rings. I only need one of them as far as I know, unless I have multiple size fingers that I might do stuff with, but I doubt it. So I would only have one of them. So there are 4 other rings in here that I don't really plan on doing anything with. And looking at the back here, it's eon. In astronomy, an eon is defined as 1,000,000,000 years. So I will be doing a video on this probably on Friday. We'll talk about it if I feel a little bit better. Hopefully I'll be able to do my Wednesday videos as normal. I know things have been kind of shaky the last couple of weeks, and now with this. But we have the rings. I only need one of them, so 4 of them might be for somebody else. We'll see how that works. Now, what I wanted to talk about is K Studio asked about coins. So what I have here is quarters. Not really sure how to give you a perception of size. Let's see here. So we have a deck of playing cards, and then so if you consider like the size of the playing cards versus the coin that's on there, so they're kind of small. They do fit into the palm pretty decently. Now, as I've said before, if you're going to be practicing palming, what I find works best for me is palming closer to this muscle here. As you create a line, as you cup your hands, I find that this muscle right here is my sweet spot, because I find if I palm in the center of my hand, I don't know if it's going to show up here with a coin like this, but you'll see that my pinky has a tell, because then I have to use other muscles. And if I try to move my pinky too much, I feel like I'm losing. But if I shift it over just slightly, then my hand can be natural. And so that's just a tip for you guys as you're learning different things. So that's the quarter size. And another reason why I'm bringing this up is because the Magic guys just had their podcast episode 18 that they talked about it in. But K Studio did specifically ask me this question, so I wanted to answer it for them. Next up, we have the gold dollar. It's not that much bigger than the quarter, just like a ring around the outside there. Definitely something nice that you could probably do some type of color change with if you wanted to do a switch out. Obviously, if you like your 25-cent piece, we can actually just turn that right into a gold coin or something like that. Just a basic classic, dump to the one hand, dump back to the other hand, dump back to this hand, dump back to this hand. So there's more to it than that, but just giving you an idea, that's a different colored coin. And I like the idea of it because they look a little bit cooler. But I do have the 2/4 because you don't know if you need the smaller ones. I think I have more than one of these, but I just have the one that I keep on me. And as they pointed out in the video, so this is kind of mostly for K Studio, but for everybody else that's watching in terms of coin stuff, Jason did point out, so I'd recommend going to check out the latest episode of the Magic Guys, episode 18, that the $half is like usually everybody's favorite size, and I would agree with that. That's the one I would typically use. And then if you're going to be doing moves, these are the I'm not even sure what they're called, the Victoria dollar. Either way, these are massive coins. They're kind of harder to palm, but you can get away with it. That's not the problem. But if you're going to be using these ones, I would be using these for more of the transfer style or the table. You could do the same thing with the $half, but just looking at the size difference, this is as it's been stated by other magicians, this is the size that fits most people's hands. Especially if you're gonna, so it's a nice coin. It catches the light. Everything's good. As you can see, it is definitely a lot smaller. So granted that depending on the size of your hand, you can learn how to use pretty much anything. There's people who can slide a jumbo coin and they've got tiny hands. It's just a matter of perception and angles and practice. So in this case, you've got the coin that magicians would say is the one that they enjoy the most, and then you have this one that's a lot bigger. So just keep that in mind. And a good point that Josh made, a lot of the reason why I'm passing this information along to you from them is because it's fresh in my mind. But the point that he made is that it's great to be aware of the coins from other people's countries, but you do want to practice with the coins from your country for the same reason why a lot of magicians don't like to use cards that are like, I mean, I've got stuff, but like the Knights or something like that. But a lot of them prefer to use bicycles, because if you go into pretty much any store that sells playing cards and you go to buy a deck of cards, if you're using a deck of cards that's not standard, they might suspect something, even though there's nothing to suspect. There's already enough, what's the word I'm looking for? They're already going to think that you're doing something tricky. So if you have a deck that doesn't fit their perception of a normal deck, same thing with a coin. If you've got a coin that isn't from, if they've never seen it before, seen or heard of that kind of coin before, then they have no reason to believe that it is a genuine coin. Even if you show them the coin, they don't know or understand. So there's a little bit more that goes into that. So it always use the props that are available to you in your country, and then of course if you want to learn how to use these ones, that's fine. But the other point that he makes, which is also good, the first point is obviously they might suspect that coin is a gaff coin because they've never seen or heard of that type of coin. But the other reason is so that the sizing might be different from the coins that you're using. So if you practice with all different types of coins, especially from your country or just other ones, then when somebody gives you a coin to do a trick with, you're basically like, boom, I can do it. I can do that trick because you're used to practicing with those types of coins. So coin magic, if you want to improve your card game, improve your coin game. That is the consensus that I'm getting from a lot of magicians, is practice using your hands, getting that manual dexterity down, and it's going to help your card game. It's going to help your feel, because one of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to look at your hands. Now, the nice thing about what I'm doing here is I'm talking to the camera and I have my hands here. I'm still looking at the camera and not looking down at my hands when I do this stuff. So because you definitely want it to appear like that. So you want to feel as comfortable doing the move as you possibly can, and if you look at what you're doing, you're going to give it away. So that's practicing and things like that, but comes in mind with the coins. Now the other thing that I want to talk about is I want to list out the stuff that I have now, because as far as buying stuff, unless you guys suggest stuff, there really isn't a whole lot for me to do there, because like I've got cups and balls. The kit that I got from Doug pretty much set me up. I've got ropes. I've got the ribbon and the thumb tip thing here. I've got the Omni deck, or is that, yeah, the Omni deck there, and then I've got I feel like there's other stuff. I've got the rings. I've got the rings here. I've got the cards, and then I have the little magic kit, or actually no, the Tenyo ball. If it still is it in here? No, but I've got this Tenyo ball. So just with what I have here, I've got, this is a deck prop, so that goes here, but I've got coins, and not just, obviously I've got this is kind of like the setup with multiple coins, but then I've also got a single coin. I've also got a color changing coin, and then I've also got other type, like especially with if you've got two quarters and then a 50-cent piece, then you can, do something like this where you're like, I've got this 50-cent piece. Can I get some change for this? Oh yeah, here we go. And then you can make the 2 quarters appear type of situation. So I feel like with what I've got here with this pile of coins, I can do coin magic. And then I've got the cards, and then I've got the rings, and then I've got the sponge balls. I have 12 different sponge balls now. So sponge balls, cups and balls, rope, tip here. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things to learn and master. And if I could get decent with all of this, then I should be able to go out and perform anything. I don't know how much there is to go with the silk and the thumb tip, but that's something to consider later on. If that's more of like a passerby, like a transitional thing or something like that. But ropes, I know, can be its own thing. Cups and balls is its own thing. Sponge balls is its own thing. Coins is its own thing. Cards and rings, own thing. So even if we consider that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 6 different things, just 6 different combinations of things, and really, pretty sure that like the sponge balls, the coins, and the cups and balls uses primarily a lot of the same things, which will increase the card game, make me a lot better with the cards, and then rings the same way with the hand sleights. The ropes is a little bit different, but I like that because it gives you a little bit of a break between that. Like I said, I also have the Tenyo ball. Sorry. Let's see. What else do I have that I could potentially do magic with? But yeah, I think that is. There's a lot to be said about what I have here, and so in the next couple of months, what I really need to do is I need to set up the ability to use. Right now, I feel like if I were to put something together, I probably could do a card routine, not a large one, but a smaller one. I'm almost there with ropes. I feel like I can almost put together like just based on the little stuff that I know, it's pretty much performance ready, except for patter. That's the biggest thing there. But point being made is that I'm further along with this than I am with the other stuff. I was practicing one coin routine, and I was practicing with my rings, but the sizes on these are like, this one comes off and on, but it's really hard to use the smaller ring for certain things. I've been practicing with it, but and I've got rubber bands. Completely forgot about the rubber bands. So there is a lot of stuff here that we can do, that we can work with. So if there is anything else that you guys know of, obviously we've talked about cards, but if there's any other types of props that you think that I should practice with, I know there's what are they called? So there's coin stuff that I need to get, and some of that stuff might actually be in here, in the magic kit here. I know there's another set of cups and balls. There's some other stuff in there. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, so we opened the rings. So stay tuned for that. Probably on Friday, if everything goes well, we're gonna open this. Um, we're gonna be doing more magic stuff. I have another rope thing that I need to get to. I want to practice the cups and balls. So all the based on what the stuff that I have here, I really want to be able to start performing and transitioning from one thing to the other. I feel like even doing like walk around coins, because you can't really walk around with cups and balls. I feel like you're on the table and stuff with that. You can walk around with ropes, you can walk around with coins, you can walk around with the cards and with the rings. So out of all this stuff, I should be able to do stand up stuff and I should be able to do sit down stuff. So ultimately, that's the objective. So let's bring you over here. Hope you guys enjoyed this little surprise unboxing. We just had the one thing in the mail. Like I said, I've got two more things that I know of in the mail. Hopefully those will. The one is the label's been created. The other one is just in transit somewhere. It just depends on how long it's going to take to get here from Australia. So that's the mail that we've got going on. David and I have been talking about the different cards that we should get, as well as the next phase of what we should be working on. I've talked about the next set of giveaways that we're going to be doing. So really, the stuff that I have here on the table is the props that we're going to be working on the next couple of weeks. But if you guys have any other ideas for things that I should be practicing, let me know and I'll look into it. We're also looking into wallets and watches for magic purposes, but those are a little bit more expensive, so they might take longer to get. But absolutely, I do have one person on, so thank you for joining. I'm not even sure if anybody, no, I didn't see any comments. Thanks for liking, and remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you in the next one.